I'm Dara.
Happy Sunday, it's Erin.
How to eat, and welcome to our third virtual meal prep class. We know it's summer, and we're also a little bit tired. And I know you want to be outside, or kicking back with a glass of wine, or frankly in bed, because that's where I think we would like to be.
Okay,
right
it's
now.
7:30. I don't
It's
want to
late.
go to bed. I'm staying up for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I was like, I've never even seen that show. But thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it. I mean, we all have to eat.
Yeah,
and so this
exactly.
is just going to help make that busy Wednesday so much easier.
Yeah, we're going to help you meal prep a few little things.
Yeah.
To make the week easier.
In case you haven't come to the other two, just to give you the lowdown, so we're going to be walking you through the prep and cooking of 3 recipes. So we're going to be making our Thai Turkey Meatballs, which is always a hit, 3 bean salad, and a carrot cake oatmeal. So you should all have the equipment you need and the food you need because we posted the grocery list.
That's
if
right.
you aren't watching live, we will post it in the comments.
Yep.
And you can also access it in the event. And then you can stop it when you like. We find that people find watching it later on a little bit better because then they can pause when they want to. Maybe you don't want to make all 3, you just want to make 1 recipe. And then you can use this at your convenience whenever you feel you need it.
Yep, exactly. And if you're joining us for the first time and you've never seen our virtual meal prep before, welcome!
Yay.
We're so happy you came to cook with us in our kitchen. I just kind of realized we kind of get more casual every time we do this. We looked at each other tonight and we're like, nice.
Casual. Sorry, I'm a little bit insulted.
With our hair!
Oh, with our hair.
With our hair.
Fine.
As you said, we're both rocking the mom buns.
Mom buns, but we're both wearing summer dresses. It's
Yeah.
hot.
Exactly. These
Yeah.
double as pajamas. So.
I know. I dressed up. Comment. We definitely want you to comment, say hi, any questions. We'll definitely answer them. And even if you're watching at a later time, still comment. We promise to respond.
We do, yeah. We respond to all our comments, and I've got us live over here, so I'll kind of come in and out of the frame and be answering comments as they come in. Karen Dent says, hi Karen. Karen's one of our biggest fans. She uses all our recipes. She's joined our virtual meal prep before and has cooked alongside us. Our first one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's an original. Thanks, Karen.
And that means so much to us when we, when you guys share our recipes and we see what you've made and you love it. That just makes us so happy.
Amazing. So if you're just joining us, we are cooking 3 recipes for you tonight. The first one that we're going to start on is our Thai Turkey Meatballs.
That's right. So we're going to preheat the oven to 375.
375.
And we're going to get going.
Okay, so I have the recipe here. We don't have these memorized off the top of our heads. The recipes are printable for you on the link that we'll be posting on the video right after we post it live. But it's also on the event page right now if you want to go check it out and follow along. First thing we need...
Just take over the comments.
Okay, we'll switch sides. I'm going to grab a bowl. And we're making a double batch of the turkey meatballs. We realized over the course of doing these that we kind of move a little bit faster because we've made these recipes before and we spend a lot of our time in our kitchens doing meal prep. So we may be faster at this than you're doing it at home. So we're going to do a double batch. So Roy and I that's
I was like,
Dara,
I'm the second husband.
You are.
Sorry, Roy.
Yeah. So we're going to make a double batch. The first thing that we're going to start with is 2 pounds of ground turkey. You can use any ground meat that you like for this recipe. It is amazing
with anything.
Pork. I love pork. For this, I just find pork goes really well with these Asian flavors.
I wouldn't know.
I've also done it with beef.
We're kosher, so no pork at home.
No cooking pork at home.
No.
That's okay. I will make you pork meatballs sometime.
And I'll come here. That'll be lovely. So you could use chicken, beef. That would all be great.
Yeah, exactly. This is kosher ground turkey.
There you go.
Okay. I don't want to contaminate my hands too much here, although I am going to be rolling the meatballs, so it doesn't really matter.
And it's much easier to roll the meatballs with your hands than to try to, mix it up with your hands too, even than to try to use a spoon.
Yeah, although I do have to measure ingredients, so I'm just going to quickly wash so that I can get that together.
And these meatballs are also great to freeze them. So we're going to cook them right now in the sauce. But you don't have to. You could just make the meatballs and pop them in the fridge or the freezer, and then use them whenever you'd like.
In fact, I generally make a double batch of these meatballs and freeze one because they're so amazing. Yeah. And it's hardly any extra work to do a double batch than it is to do. Do you want to read me the ingredients?
Sure, I'll be your
We're doing a double batch, and sometimes I forget when I'm in the heat of the moment. Yeah. And so, anyway, I have to double all the ingredients.
Okay, so you're going to use 6 tablespoons of hoisin sauce.
Okay, hoisin sauce is not here. It is in the fridge.
Okay. So we forgot.
Good start.
So we're just going to see that this happens, We also realized that we didn't have any green onions for the meatballs, so we're just going to be leaving them out. But once we get there, you could also substitute a shallot or any onion you'd like.
Yeah.
Actually, my kids and my family prefer them without the onions. So So
Oh, there you go.
I leave them out.
Yeah. I find the chives are a little bit milder than the green onion. So it's 6 tablespoons. Obviously, I'm not measuring 6 tablespoons here, but a tablespoon is 15 mils.
It's like a quarter cup and a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm putting a little more than a third of a cup in here, and that should be good enough.
Oh,
I'm gonna get one of this little thing.
what's the other thing?
It's a little spatula, and it's like the best thing ever in the kitchen for when you're cooking and you have to like scrape out little tiny container. I love this thing.
It's really good.
Oh my goodness.
Another thing
My friend Daniela actually introduced me to these. She has like a container full of them on her counter. She uses them all kinds of
Smart.
stuff. Yeah.
You can also, if you're measuring sticky things like honey or maple syrup, you can just spray it with a little bit of cooking spray or measure your oil first and then put in the honey and maple syrup and they're just going to slip right in.
That's what I was going to say. When I do my salad dressings, if I'm measuring for whatever reason, which I generally don't, but
Yeah.
if I do.
And I'm measuring.
But baking, I do that all the time. Measure the oil first and then everything just slips out.
Okay, so next you want 2 cups of panko.
Okay. Panko breadcrumb. We've used these a couple times before for different recipes. Just kind of a lighter, flakier version of a wheat breadcrumb.
You could use regular breadcrumbs too if you don't have access to panko.
Yeah, they'll make your meatballs just a touch denser, but that's fine. They'll taste the same.
Brian's asking, could you use ground round like tofu instead of this?
You know, I haven't used the ground round for this before, but I have made them vegan before by using lentils and I forget what else, maybe tempeh.
Yeah.
And same recipe, and it worked well. Breadcrumbs, still use the egg, so it wouldn't be vegan actually. Oh no, I didn't. I used chia seeds for it.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, you can use anything for it. So these are flavorings, right, that you're adding to the base, which in this case is ground turkey, but it can certainly be ground beef, ground pork.
The ground round's not as sticky. So like the ground meats are a little bit stickier. So
It's
I don't know,
pre-cooked, right?
how well you could try using though like mashed up soft tofu.
Yeah.
I think that has a little more moisture. It might work a little better. Or beans, like Erin said.
Yeah.
Lentils or beans, those would stick a little bit more.
You can also buy meatballs. Yes, you can buy meatballs.
Oh my god, pre-made meatballs!
Yeah, pre-made meatballs.
And then
totally.
just toss them in the sauce, which
Exactly.
is delicious.
And there are a couple good vegetarian ones. I like the PC meatballs.
Mhm.
If you've been to IKEA lately, they have these vegan meatballs.
I
They
haven't.
are amazing. They're
Really?
super high in sodium, but really high in protein. They're made with pea protein or something. IKEA meatballs. This
Well,
is
they're-
not sponsored. Okay, next.
Okay, 2 eggs.
2 eggs.
Easy peasy.
Boom.
Hi guys.
Garbage bowl.
And that's another one of our tips that we share every time. It just makes it a lot faster than running back to the garbage.
Exactly.
And then you want 4 teaspoons of garlic mince.
Ooh, garlic. Where's my garlic?
Right here.
Dara got everything prepared
what
for
would
me.
you do without
I
me?
know.
I walked in, she's a bit of a hot mess. I said, you don't need to change the shower. And she's like, no, I think I should.
No, I haven't showered today. Yeah, I
No,
need to.
yeah, no, now she
Okay.
so it's beautiful. But, okay,
Oh,
what
that's sweet.
So 4 teaspoons. So how many cloves of garlic is 4 teaspoons?
3 to 4, depending on how big they are. These are kind of medium-sized cloves.
So you don't have to be measuring your garlic with teaspoons. You can kind of
Absolutely.
just use as much as you like. And if you don't like garlic, I know a lot of people don't like a lot of it, then you could definitely just cut back.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Right.
leave it out too if you'd like.
Oh, there's ginger. Did you get ginger out?
No, is it in your freezer?
Failed me. Yeah, of
Sorry.
course it is. Yeah, you know where my ginger is because this is like one of my favorite cooking tips of all time. Is grating frozen ginger when you need it. Actually, I'll grate the garlic too because I have the microplane out.
That makes it easier also.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm smashing the garlic cloves here because it makes it easy to get the skin off. The fresher your garlic, the harder it's going to be to get the skin off. This is super fresh garlic, so it's really sticky. And my hands are going to smell like garlic.
But that's fine.
But you know how to get rid of it?
I don't.
You can rub your hands on stainless steel, and it will get rid of the garlic smell.
Totally.
So if you have a stainless steel sink, after you've been handling garlic, rub your hands along the inside of the sink, and it will get rid of the
Oh,
stink.
good to know. The steak.
Rub your hands in your sink to get rid of the stink. Okay.
This is another like meal prep thing you can do is to just take off all the outside. Now I'm losing my words. Outside of the garlic.
Yeah.
You can even chop it. You can freeze it.
Yeah.
You can freeze it whole. Freeze it chopped. Then
Yeah.
it will save you time later on. Too.
Exactly. So this is a slightly faster way. I'm going to have to mince up a couple pieces that fell off to do garlic. I find, again, if it's fresh, it's kind of falling apart a little bit. That's fine.
And it's a
I'm
good
gonna
tip
mince
for
it up a
salad
little bit.
dressings too.
Oh
Just
yeah,
microplane it in.
especially if you don't want big chunks of garlic,
Mhm.
which for meatballs you really don't, right? Because they're not cooking forever and ever.
No, you don't want to bite into a huge chunk of garlic.
Exactly. I'm gonna mince the rest here because it's so you can see it built up on the back there.
Andrea's watching.
Andrea who?
Andrea Bucket.
Oh, Andrea!
Hi,
She's the
Andrea.
best. She's the best Facebook Liver. Go to Andrea Bucket Cooks. She has an amazing Facebook page, and she does a Facebook Live every Friday
Which
night.
is amazing.
It's like it's been at her cottage.
Yeah.
She does it in various places. She includes her family. She cooks over at campfire. She's an amazing chef, so she's one to follow for sure if you're looking for amazing, delicious recipes to use.
That's good. Almost.
Okay, Dara,
That's
we
fine.
have different.
I would just be like,
ideas.
it's fine. It's gonna, and we just said you don't want huge chunks of garlic.
I know exactly. That's exactly what we just
Fine.
said. It's fine.
Okay.
The ginger will be really quick. How much do I need?
You need 2 teaspoons of ginger.
Okay, that's not a lot.
And with the grated ginger, you don't even need to peel it. You can just grate it right in there.
100%. I
And
don't.
that's why you keep it in the freezer like this, right? Because then it's just ready to go, and it keeps it a lot better, and it grates a lot easier when it's frozen.
That's exactly it. And I wash it before I put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then
You don't have
that's
to
your
worry about
uncle. Yeah. Exactly. So again, in my microplane, I'm putting it right over my bowl to anchor it so that I don't slice my
Eyeballing.
finger off. A teaspoon is about half an inch of a piece of ginger, so I'm gonna roughly grate an inch. What comes after this, Sarah?
2 teaspoons of sesame oil, which I got. Actually, I think you got that.
Oh yeah,
Like
I did get
points
that. Yeah.
And sesame oil is great. It's gonna add a nice like fragrance to it too,
Oh,
and a little bit of like
so
subtle
good.
flavor. It's not too overwhelming.
It's a very kind of not standard, but it's like the Asian fusion cuisine that we like both love to
love
cook
it,
so
yeah.
much. There's a lot of sesame oil in it. It's a really kind of distinctive flavor, kind of like cumin is for Mexican
Yeah.
cooking. Yeah, I find that sesame oil is kind of like that for Asian cooking. Okay, I'd say that's roughly
That looks about good.
2 teaspoons. So make sure you scrape off the back because it builds up on there. And this is going back in the freezer because it hasn't thawed.
And it's good to go next time.
Good to go next time. Exactly.
So 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons. 1, 2. Okay,
And then that's it.
that's it. Okay,
And we just mix them up.
so mix them up. We have a parchment-lined baking sheet. I'm just going to mix them with my
Right.
hands because I'm going to make them right now anyway. And this was pre-frozen turkey breast, right?
This is
I found it really wet when I put it in
Yeah.
the bowl. I was like, oh, this is really wet.
because
so,
it was frozen.
Exactly. So what you might need to do is add some more breadcrumbs if you find that the meatballs are too wet and you're not able to form them into little balls.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to need a bit more, maybe another half a cup.
I'll get it because your hands are all
Yeah, exactly. And again, we forgot the green onions or the chives, but whatever, they're still going to be delicious.
And these, we're making them as meatballs. These would be great also as burgers.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Especially with the sauce on top of them too.
Oh my
with a little
goodness.
bit of slaw.
Yeah,
It would be delicious.
yeah, I think that's probably good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this was recently frozen. My hands are cold. Okay,
Sorry.
it's all good.
Food
All right.
safety. I wanted to keep it very
No,
cold, right?
exactly.
Right?
Yes. Never defrost your meat on the counter. Your meat should always, always, always be defrosted in the fridge slowly.
So why don't I put this in front?
Yeah,
and then
that's what I was
they
gonna
can
say.
see the
Or maybe
meatballs.
to the side of me and put it where like this is right now.
Sure.
Kind of like shove everything over. Perfect. Okay. So here we go. Rolling them into meatball size. I don't know.
Meatball size. Maybe you like really big meatballs, or you want like mini meatballs might be fun for kids.
I like this big.
So that's how big they're going.
That's how big they're going.
And I can't help because that would be cheating.
It would be cheap.
Oh, we're
no,
doing
we do a
double.
batch.
So
We do have a double
I don't
batch.
know. What do you think? Allowed?
Yeah,
I'll
sure,
have
if you
to
want.
wash
Or
my
you
hands.
can, yeah.
So, people are missing Ness. I'm sorry.
Oh, that is mean, people.
Well, I miss her too. I actually got to see her though
Oh yeah, totally.
before, and she's sleeping.
My poor husband, he was away at a boys' cottage weekend this weekend.
Sorry, my poor husband, he was away at a boys' cottage weekend. You can't start the sentence like that, right? Like,
I think he had a great time.
exactly.
We
No,
actually
like
talked, yeah.
he was away by himself with his friends, not my poor husband. No.
Okay, well the reason I say that is because he comes home and Ness has been talking about Dad all weekend. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy's upstairs, Daddy downstairs. Daddy's
And I
car.
walked in and she said, Dada, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so he walks in, and she won't hug him or kiss him or go to him at all. She just wants mama. And so Dara gave me a really good tip. She was like, you know what, you just kind of have to relax about it and just ignore the behavior because every time you kind of feed into it,
she's smart. She wants to play it, right?
Exactly.
And it's kind of like food when you're sitting around at the dinner table and your toddler is, I don't like that, I don't want to eat that. And you're like, come on, just try it, one more bite, it's delicious, it's delicious. All you're doing is focusing on the food. They're not going to eat it.
No, exactly. And
even
I know
if they want to, right?
Yeah, and that works.
They're smart. So you don't talk about food at the dinner table. So we're not going to talk about giving daddy hugs. Just like we don't talk about eating your broccoli.
Exactly.
Same thing.
I will give you an update on how this strategy works.
Okay.
Next time that we go live. I actually think it makes a lot of common sense
Well,
to
I might as
me.
well try it.
Yeah, no, it's a great tip. See, moms helping each other out.
I think how we're going to cheat here is the next thing you're going to do is put the water on to boil for your noodles that are going to go with the meatballs. So because Erin's rolling a double batch, I'm going to put the water on.
Yeah, perfect.
Boil.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, because I'm not sure how many this makes.
I forget. I think that it makes like 18 to 20 in one batch of smaller meatballs. I'm actually making them a little bit bigger now, just for time's sake. Yeah. And then what to serve them with. So we are serving them with a couple of different things because I have a couple of different things. I've served them with anything from regular pasta noodles. We have this ancient grain catelli pasta that I have in the cupboard that I find really good. It's a whole grain pasta. Would be perfect for this. It's kind of like Asian fusion spaghetti and meatballs. We could do rice. I have like a, behind me, well you can't see it, but it's a brown rice, wild rice blend that I really like and I've served with this before. And I think actually the recipe on the blog pictures that rice that I served with it. I've served it with udon noodles, which are those like fat wheat noodles that are so delicious.
You could do quinoa.
Yep, I've done it with quinoa. You could do like a buckwheat noodle, like a different, you know, if you want to do a gluten-free noodle. I think, is buckwheat gluten-free?
Yes.
We don't know.
We know.
It doesn't sound like it should be,
no,
but for some reason in my gut, I feel like
no,
it is.
it's not. WARB. You know the acronym?
No.
It's like wheat. Someone comment. Yeah, crazy, right? Well, yeah. I'll look it up after. I'll Google it. I remember learning about it in school, like to remember what has gluten in it.
Oh, I know like rye, barley.
Yeah, see, WARB. It's like wheat, oats,
barley,
because oats, unless you buy
rye.
gluten-free oats. Rye, barley, WARB too. Then there's
I know how to spell it.
Yes, we're dietitians.
We promise. We're professionally trained, I swear. Okay, making room for meatballs that aren't fitting on here.
You could also put this in a meatball sub, too. I think that would be delicious.
Oh my goodness, that would be so good.
Also, I would serve them with, and I think in the recipe we do, some sort of green.
Oh yeah.
I think it's great with them, like steamed bok choy, steamed broccoli, sauteed spinach would be great.
Yep, I bought some Swiss chard at the farmer's market today. That's what I plan on serving with this. Broccoli is a winner. Obviously, kids are usually pretty broccoli friendly, I would say, as opposed to Swiss chard or something like that anyway. But bok choy is actually a really good kid-friendly one to start with. There's a whole bunch of Ontario-grown Chinese greens available now in grocery stores. What's up?
Buckwheat is gluten-free. Andrea Bucket. See? Follow her.
Yes! Thank you, Andrea.
We thought it was.
Yeah, see, I knew in my gut. Yeah, I was born to be a dietitian. No. All right, good.
Okay, so we're getting there.
We're getting there, yeah. And these take about 15 minutes, is that right?
I think about 15 minutes to bake. Pretty quick.
All right, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So these made about 32, and they're big. So normally they'd make about like 20 for a batch.
So I'm going to put them in the oven, which is at preheated to 375. Oh, you have, Erin?
Yep.
There's something in your oven.
Oh, dear Lord. Yep, those are... Okay, gracious. Just put it on the other rack there. We need to take those out. Those are...
Okay.
Oh, nailing life today. Okay. I roasted some beets in individual foil packets today. A little extra cooking time is not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
But there's a great tip for meal prepping in advance, which I've done. These are double cooked beets. Easy. Yeah, individual beets, like the size of, a little bit size smaller than the size of my fist. They can be individually wrapped in foil.
That's how I do them too.
You just take off the greens, wrap them up, put them in a 400 oven for an hour. Boom, let them cool.
Yeah.
And when you take them out of the packet, it just like the skin falls off basically.
And don't throw away the greens either.
Absolutely not.
Like,
Yeah.
You can chop them, and I think that's what. Did you chop them up?
Yeah.
You can serve those with these too. That would be delicious. I've also I've had done them raw in a salad too.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
they're
they're
good.
so good.
So you have to wash them really well because they were really
Yeah.
dirty, but they were so fresh today. So I washed them like 4 times, chopped them up, put them in a freezer bag with a paper towel so that it absorbs extra moisture and keeps them nice and crisp, and then throw them in the fridge. They're good for at least 3 or 4 days. Okay, we're getting sidetracked.
Okay, so we're just gonna tidy up here a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get started on the carrot cake oatmeal. So obviously the first thing we need for carrot cake oatmeal is carrots. So I think the recipe calls for 2 carrots.
It
so
does.
I have 2 carrots here that we're just gonna peel and then grate.
You don't have to peel them. I wash them. Up to you.
Okay, well, we'll peel one and leave one unpeeled.
Yeah.
I think that's
I mean, sometimes if the carrots are bigger and like the skin is a bit tougher, I find it can be a little bit bitter.
yeah,
But I'll usually just take a bite.
for a while in this too.
Exactly. So it wouldn't matter. Like you wouldn't even see it. If you're doing carrots for a dinner party and like, cutting them into rounds or something,
Then you'd
want to peel them.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to grate them by hand. You could also use your food processor. It would go a lot faster too. You can buy the bags of the pre-grated carrots, and we're going to be using that actually in the next
the bean salad
recipe.
Yeah.
But I find that in this oatmeal, you want them to cook a little bit more evenly and cook down a little more. If you're using those really thick ones, then they're not going to give you that same texture, and they're not going to cook as well in the oatmeal. So
No,
I would
it's true.
use them for this.
Okay. I put the hoisin sauce in, didn't I?
You put the yes, you're going to need it again.
I know.
Oh no, the hoisin sauce is right there.
Oh. Oh yeah.
We're very organized today.
Okay. We are.
It's summer, it's summer. The weekends are busy.
This is just reality.
This is real life.
Get stuff.
But like, how happy am I going to be tomorrow when I don't have to make dinner because it's already ready?
Oh. My
All
gosh.
I'm going to do is steam some broccoli because
Yeah.
that's what my daughters love to eat. And
you're doing the meatballs tomorrow.
yeah, I'm
Amazing.
doing meatballs tomorrow.
Okay. Good. Okay. Let's check it out.
It's
Here.
easy. Easy.
All right. Oh my goodness. Pamela Zucum. Do you know who that is?
That's my cousin.
Oh, she says, "Where's the wine?"
Okay.
Good call.
Necessary.
We really screwed up tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
She seems like a lot of fun to cook with. Jamie says her friend Emily and her are watching with Desiree, all 3 friends of mine.
That's nice. So when I get to the end,
Where's
I'm going to be
this?
honest, I don't like to grate my finger, so then I would just eat this.
Eat it. Exactly. There we go.
So we're going to grate the other one now. And I know, like, carrot cake, oatmeal, you kind of think, like, it's not really a summer food.
Yeah.
But I also like to eat it cold. Erin, would you...
What are you saying?
I would eat this oatmeal cold in the summer. I'm insane. But you know what? When you mix it in with some yogurt, it's, like, really nice and thick, and it's...
Okay.
Anyway, she'll try it. But sometimes also you want a warm and hearty breakfast,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I eat oats probably like 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah,
For
I know.
breakfast,
Yeah,
right?
we do. I'm more of a cold cereal person, as you know.
Yeah.
And we recently got a Vitamix. Amazing. But a lot of money, it's not. Anyway. We've been doing smoothies. Rory,
Oh,
my
that's
husband,
good.
has been making smoothies, and my daughter, like Ness, loves them.
I'm
She
sure.
said, "Hooey!" Like, we'll be upstairs, and I'll get her ready in the morning before work. And Rory will be down here, and you can obviously hear the Vitamix turn on, and I open the door to get her ready, and she says, "Booey!" That's the first thing.
She's so cute.
Food on the mind. She loves it.
So I have carrots just about everywhere, but that's fine.
Irene is joining us from Plan B Organics.
Hi,
I went to
Irene.
visit her farm this week, or a farm that she works on this week, and it was so, so lovely. A beautiful organic farm that's growing a huge variety of local produce. And they grow Ontario bok choy on the farm.
Awesome.
Yeah, amazing. They're involved in so many wonderful things.
So the next thing, so our carrots are done, and now we're just going to put everything together. So we're going to bring coconut milk and water to a boil. So I have a can, and obviously we're using the full-fat coconut milk. It's just going to add a lot more flavor and creaminess. I'm just looking for the can opener. So
Burning.
the water's on. Your beets?
No, I took the beets out. We're good.
So I think that the recipe says 1 cup of coconut milk and 3 cups of water. So this is going to be a little bit more than 1 cup. But then you can just add a little bit of extra water.
Okay, so it was the parchment paper burning because of my beet situation on the middle shelf. We put the meatballs on the bottom shelf, and the parchment was touching the gas stuff.
Okay.
So I just changed it. Sorry.
So, okay, 4 cups of liquid. So this is about like almost 2 cups of coconut milk. So I'm just going to go fill it up to 4 cups with water.
Okay. And Dara,
Yes.
what do you want to bring home with your meatballs? Do you want the ancient grain wheat pasta, or do you want the buckwheat soba noodles?
Whatever you don't want.
I want to keep the buckwheat.
Fine.
Not because they're gluten-free.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is, I don't know how to use your sink here.
I know, I have one of these touch sinks so that you don't actually have to turn on.
Which you think would make life easier, but I'm like smacking the sink. And
Yeah, I know. It only, like, once you get used to it, you can never go back, but it's always confusing for people that have never used one before.
Okay, so we're going to bring these to boil. I think that's what the recipe says. Aaron, double check.
Sure. Yes, I believe I read that before.
Okay.
Bring water and coconut milk to a boil over high heat in a small saucepan.
So in theory, we could have done that before we grated the carrots.
Yeah, we should have done
Would
that.
have been a little bit more.
That would have definitely been a little bit more time saving. But that's fine.
You know, we have lots of time.
Yeah. This isn't quite boiling yet.
So
Very good.
while that's boiling, we can talk about oats because everyone wants to talk about oats. We're using steel cut oats for this. So steel cut, the rolled oats, the instant oats, basically the only difference is just the amount of processing. So the steel cut oats, they're all made from the oat groat.
Yeah.
And the steel cut oats, it's just the groat that's kind of like cut up into little pieces.
The groat is the whole grain of the oat.
Exactly. So it looks like little grains of rice almost. Like
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah, totally. It looks like fricka. Have you
it
ever had
does.
fricka?
Yeah,
Is that how you say it?
I forget, or I think you can also call it farro.
I
Right?
think those are different.
The different things?
Are fricka and farro different? Who
Tell
wants
us.
to help us out?
Andrea? They're probably different. Oh, they are. Farro's spelt, yes.
Oh.
Fricka's like
Fricka.
fricka.
Yeah. I just like
Anyways,
saying it.
Yeah. So
Fricka. Amazing. Get it? Okay.
we're not drinking.
Not at all. I promise. We're just like delirious.
Yeah. So I like to use this because it's chewier in this recipe.
Yeah,
It's going to add like the steel
satisfying.
cut oats are add better texture.
Yeah.
They're also great in savory recipes. So you can use them like you would rice in a risotto or like a
Totally.
pilaf. They'd be really good.
Good as a side dish. So you could actually
Exactly.
double up and make a side dish for the meatballs with this if you
With
wanted.
any grain, you can
Yeah.
do that too, right?
Yeah.
Just cook a double batch. The rolled oats, you can also substitute the rolled oats here. So the rolled oats have just been rolled and flattened a bit more and a little bit more processed, which is why they cook just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
They're going to be chewy, just not as chewy. And then the instant oats are just completely flattened, and that's why they cook instantly. But that texture is going to be a little bit more mushy. So you could substitute it, but you just want to keep in mind that it's not going to be as chewy, not going to hold up as well.
Yeah, I love steel cut oats. That's
Yeah.
all I cook. That's like my weekend oats because I don't
It
eat
takes a long
during
time
the week.
too,
Yeah,
right?
it takes like 20 to 30
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
You
Anyway.
could do them in the slow cooker. We have a recipe actually.
Oh, we
right,
do.
for the
Yeah.
apple cinnamon steel cut oats.
Yeah.
And so then you wake up in the morning and they're done.
Yeah.
You could also, if you just bring them to a boil and then turn it off and put the lid on and then put it in the fridge, and if you're boiling them the next morning, it's going to cook a lot faster because you've given them that pre-soak.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you like them and you want them to cook a little bit faster, that would be a
Brilliant
good
idea,
tip for
Dara.
them.
Okay, we're boiling back here.
So what are you dropping in both of them?
No, because
Why?
they have different cook times.
Okay.
I'm just doing the ancient grain catelli pasta. As I said, it's a whole grain pasta. It's made from quinoa, amaranth, millet, sorghum, and teff, and wheat, of course. Wheat is the main ingredient. It's really good. You know, we don't.
I haven't tried that one yet, actually.
It's pretty new. I don't actually really like whole wheat pasta. I find it really gritty textured compared to
Yeah.
refined flour. And this has a really smooth texture despite the fact that it's whole grain.
Put a lid on that to boil.
Excuse me.
I don't mind the whole wheat pasta. I know you.
Yeah, no, different strokes.
You
Different
can
strokes.
use whatever you want for this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we can get started on the bean salad while that boils too,
5 minutes.
if we wanted to. While the
That's
while it
boiling.
comes to a boil.
Oh, is that me? Do I start?
We can
the
no, I
salad?
can start the bean salad. That's what
I think I make the dressing next, don't I?
So we make the dressing.
Noodles are in. Oh, I have to make the sauce.
We forgot.
Okay, so for the Thai turkey meatballs, this is the best sauce of life. Like
Yeah.
coconut milk, peanut butter,
It's
sesame
delicious.
oil, lime zest. It's amazing. Double it up.
Yeah, double it up.
I'm
You
just
want
gonna
to
bring it
yeah.
all the way over here.
And this sauce would be delicious just plain on noodles too, right? You could make like an Asian noodle salad. It doesn't have to be with the meatballs.
Oh, it would be good on
You could eat it straight from
on a
here,
spoon
and it would be
into
so
your
good.
mouth directly. It would be amazing.
And
Let's switch box here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to make the sauce now too. You can, if you don't want the sauce, you can just have the meatballs plain.
They're really good plain too.
2 cans of coconut
2
milk.
cans. Well, 1 can for your recipe if you're just doing one.
And then a quarter cup of hoisin
More
sauce.
hoisin. So hoisin is like a sweet, it's kind of sticky, but also savory.
Yeah. A sweet like Asian barbecue sauce, kind of. I
Yeah,
described
that's a
it.
good way to describe it. Yeah. Let's go on this.
Comments? Okay, Andrea to the rescue. Farro is usually made from emmer wheat or spelt. Frika is usually made from white or cracked younger wheat.
Oh, frika is wheat.
There you go.
Well, there we go.
4 tablespoons of
Hoisin.
Hoisin sauce
Quarter
is
cup.
delicious, just spread on like fish or chicken too as a marinade. If you're buying it for this recipe and you're like, what am I going to do with the rest of it? I don't normally cook with it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just try it on some fish. I think we even have like a very old recipe on the blog with salmon that is basically just hoisin sauce.
We do.
On the salmon, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's hoisin sauce and like some sliced green onions or chives, and that's it. That's what, I think I've mentioned this before. My husband usually cooks dinner on Tuesday nights because I play volleyball, and it's Fish Tuesdays. So it's usually rainbow trout or salmon, and one of his favorite things to do is just slather on a bunch of soy sauce and bake it in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. It's really easy.
Hoisin sauce. He's yelling from the basement. Not soy sauce, Erin.
Did I say
Hoisin sauce.
soy? Sorry.
He did. She meant hoisin.
For the love of Pete. Okay. Soy sauce, next.
There you go. A quarter cup again.
All right, well.
And you can
4
use,
tablespoons.
like, if you don't want it as salty, you can use the low sodium
Use the
variety.
low sodium. I love Kikkoman soy sauce in
both
general.
use that.
I prefer the light, but they only have the small containers at my grocery
know,
store,
it's
and it's
hard
like
to
so
find.
expensive
I
to
know.
buy the small one. So forget it. I just buy the regular, and it tastes just as good, obviously.
Peanut butter.
PB. I have creamy regular Kraft. Sugar in it.
Oh my goodness. You can use whatever you have. If
Yeah.
you can use crunchy even. You can use the all natural one. You can use like whatever peanut butter. You could also sub almond butter here.
Ooh,
That would be delicious.
Yeah.
Or sunflower, any nut butter. You know, if you can't have nuts, you can use sunflower butter too. I think that would be really good.
So 2 tablespoons of peanut butter.
4
So
tablespoons.
4.
Yeah. And if you add a little extra, it's not bad.
Yeah, that looks about right. 4 tablespoons.
And we need more. Oh, we need more ginger, which I put away.
Oh shoot! See, we
Okay.
slapped this one together, didn't
No,
we?
it's fine.
Okay.
Also, we didn't put the timer on the meatballs. If anyone's making it along with us, tell us when your meatballs are done, okay? Yeah, we'll just check on them. And if you forgot to put the timer on them, we can all check together and see if they're done.
They'll be browned around the edges and like
Firm,
firm.
white, like they start coming out.
The little bit of white fat that's in them will start coming out exactly.
Which is a good tip also to know when fish is ready.
Yeah.
When that white stuff starts coming out, the fat, then you know it's ready.
Yeah, there's lots of ginger in this. So I'm gonna keep grating here. Okay, and after this is done, we just
That's
zest
it.
the lime. 2 limes,
And then
I
you just
guess.
heat it together so it all comes together on the stove top.
Yeah, exactly. You can bring it to a simmer and then it's done. And throw your meatballs in, and voila. Meatballs have to be getting close. You want to look at
Yeah.
I'm putting tons of ginger in.
I think they're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't know where you're gonna put them. Oh, over there maybe. You just put them.
Can I just put that right on your counter?
There is like you can put it on those.
So our meatballs are done. And,
Roughly 15 minutes.
they're
I would say that's about 2 tablespoons.
It's really heavy. It's really heavy. They're firm to the touch, if you can see them.
Yep.
They're nice and brown.
Around the bottom. They smell so good. Now we are done with the oven, right?
Yes.
And pasta's done too, so that's good timing for me. Because this is done other than the lime, so I'll just drain the pasta first.
Okay. And then you'll do the limes. I'm just gonna check on the water. It's taking a really long time to come to a boil.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's on a small element. That's probably why.
Something is beeping. My freezer's open.
Sorry. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. How are you guys doing? Are you cooking along with us?
Let us know if you are, and if you're not, tell us which recipe you're interested in cooking in. So why don't you give a recap of what we're doing?
So we are making the Thai turkey meatballs. So what we've done so far is we've rolled and we've baked our meatballs. They just came out of the oven. We're in the process of making the sauce, which is going to get heated on the stovetop. And Erin has just drained the pasta that is finished cooking.
For 1 second with the pasta.
Yeah.
So normally if you're tossing pasta with a hot sauce, you would never rinse pasta. Pasta has that extra starch in it. It's going to help the pasta sauce stick to the pasta if you don't rinse it. In this case, we're not adding it right away. So unless I rinse it and add a little bit of oil or something, it's all going to stick together. So I'm going to rinse it in this case because we're not using it for tonight. We're using it for another night.
You would, if you're making a cold pasta salad, then you would want to rinse the pasta to kind of cool it down and so that it doesn't all stick together because of that starch. Yeah. Like in our tortellini salad. Okay, so this is boiled. Oh God, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay, yeah.
Boiling over.
Sorry. What am I? Okay.
Just take the lid off there.
Yeah, but I'm just going to move it off the oven for a minute. It's not my stove, okay? I'm not familiar with it. But,
good times. Good times.
Can you just, am I doing this right?
Yeah, so turn it all the way to the left. Other left. There you go.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
But we do still want it boiling, right? No? Okay, we're going to take the lid off.
Okay, there we go.
So that's boiled. We're going to turn it down a little bit. So to recap, we were in the middle of a recap.
Yeah, sorry.
Now we're meatballs are underway and we're onto the oatmeal. So our water and our coconut milk is boiling. So now we're going to add 1 cup of steel cut oats. So for steel cut oats, it's generally always 4 to 1. 4 parts of liquid and 1 part of the oatmeal.
Yeah.
Because it needs a lot more liquid to cook because it's so much heartier.
Yeah. Okay.
So 1 cup of oats go in.
I'm frozen over here, so hopefully you're not frozen on the actual show. Yeah, looks like we're okay. Yeah, we're still going.
So we're going to add the oats, we're going to add our raisins. Those are coming next. We're going to add our carrots that we grated. So it's really all the flavors of carrot cake, but an oatmeal. Like it's
amazing.
So
We actually, did you already mention this? We have 2 carrot cake recipes on the blog.
No.
So my friend Jamie's sister, like, it makes it almost every week. The other one, which is a baked oatmeal, it's very similar to this. But we didn't want to use a baked oatmeal tonight simply because we were using the oven already for our turkey meatballs. So we did do some pre-planning.
A little bit. So about 2/3 a cup of raisins. So I'm just going to put in like a large handful.
Eyeball it.
Okay. Some cinnamon is going in. Again, I'm just gonna, I think it says like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. I'm just going to, I like a lot of cinnamon. Some vanilla. And then it's supposed to have the zest of an orange, which I forgot. Fine. It's still going to be delicious. You could, if you have the zest of an orange, you can add it in. You could even just squeeze in a little bit of orange juice too, to give it like a little bit more carrot cakey flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I finished your vanilla.
Oh, I haven't. I bought a new one.
Oh, there you go. And then that's it. So we're going to put a lid on it, and we're going to simmer it for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So turn the heat down.
Yep. Right down. I'll operate the stove. Okay. You want to stir it up first?
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah. It's that coconut milk.
Oh, delish.
But if you don't like coconut milk, you can definitely use regular milk here.
Yeah,
you can use soy milk, you can use almond milk. Coconut milk, I find, just adds a little bit more extra flavor and creaminess to it.
Sure.
But they would still be delicious without it.
Yeah, for sure.
And you could also just use rolled oats too, if you wanted to. If you didn't want to take the time to cook the steel cut oats.
Yeah, it would be a lot faster because the grated carrot will cook like in a snap. Okay, I have to finish this sauce recipe. The only thing that I didn't add was some lime zest. So same thing, I'm using this tool for 3 different things today.
It's one of our favorite tools is microplane.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Microplane is the actual brand name. This is just a generic one that I got from my grocery store.
I'm fancy.
Oh, you have a fancy one?
No, I don't.
That's really good.
All right.
Okay. And I don't think there's any lime juice in this, so you can use your lime juice for a vodka soda lime.
Is that what you're having after this?
100%. I am hot as hell right now.
It's really hot in
I'm
here.
super tired. It's stove. There is coconut milk everywhere. Thank you.
Sorry. It's not my fault.
That's
There's
okay.
also these child locks on the stove, and I
I'm a real pain.
can't open them.
I'm just using this spoon. Basically, you just.
Oh, that's why I left the whisk there for you, my dear.
Oh, you're nice.
I'm nice.
This is just gonna come. We just basically want the peanut butter to melt, is all. So it's just gonna come to a simmer, and then la-di-da, your sauce is done. The most amazing sauce of all time. You will love us after you have this.
And we're gonna add the meatballs to the sauce, but you don't have to.
Nope, exactly. And then we'll split it up so we each get a batch.
Excellent.
Okay.
So maybe we'll tidy up a bit, and then we're gonna get started on the bean salad.
Okay, perfect.
We'll use this cutting board.
Yeah, okay. Your pasta is back here, which I've rinsed.
Thank you. So this bean salad is great for lunch for the week. I think that's what we're both going to be eating.
Yep.
It's also good as a side dish for any night for a barbecue. But it definitely stands on its own because you have a lot of protein and fiber from the beans, from the edamame, you've got your vegetables.
Yep, I like to put it on like fresh greens as well as part of a salad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to like it like just bulks it up
Bulks
a little
it
bit
up,
more
yeah.
without adding like so much more much more stuff that will fill you.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I feel like I'm getting quite the arm workout here today.
These pans,
All of these trays.
these baking trays were from my friend, our friend, Shauna Linzen.
Oh.
Are such amazing quality. When you buy cheap bakeware your whole life, and all of a sudden you're like gifted, or you buy something that's good quality and good, it makes a huge difference, right?
What I've been doing my whole life.
I know, exactly.
So we're going to get started on the bean salad. So the first thing we're going to start with is chopping our vegetables. So I think we have 1 red bell pepper and 2 stalks of celery and half a red onion. You could even, if you don't want to, you could leave out these vegetables too and just have all the beans together. You can add some different vegetables. If you don't like onion, leave it out. Like
anything goes,
yeah.
really. I love bean salad recipes. Like we used to get them from the deli when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
and they're like so sweet and savory and like there's so much delicious stuff.
You're a
in them.
deli salad girl, eh? Like the macaroni salad, the potato salad.
Okay, this I'm a dietitian, but you're not allowed to tell any other. No, just kidding. All food's fed. The macaroni and cheese deli salad, like the fluorescent orange.
Yeah,
one,
I'm sorry.
that is my jam.
Yeah, just
with a roasted chicken and those potato wedges that are like deliciously deep fried.
Those potato wedges are delicious. They're like salty and
they're so good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try to quickly dice without
everything.
cutting
Okay,
myself.
so the one thing that we've done in advance is just wash everything, just so that we don't have to be turning our backs the entire time to you. Do you have a bowl for that? It's not.
I did. Oh, I do. That big.
Oh, okay, perfect.
There, a very large bowl. And if you're cutting up peppers, like what we could do is just chop an extra one to have for snacks or salads for the week.
Yep.
Sorry,
That's
for you. It's okay.
Don't stab me.
Okay. Don't stab me, because how we're going tonight, possibility.
Okay.
So that's chopped.
Lisa Blackwell says, "Great job, you two." Thanks, Lisa.
That's kind.
That's very kind. Way too generous, actually.
So we're just gonna put that in. I thought you were, what are you drinking already? Okay. We're just gonna chop up the celery. I think celery is like a very underappreciated vegetable.
It has so much flavor.
First of all, it's delicious as a snack with peanut butter and raisins. Like, did you eat that growing up?
Or cheese whiz.
Okay, see?
Different chocolates.
I know, I had cheese whiz. Cheese in a can too. You go to Buffalo for that. No, is that like too high class or?
No, I would totally eat that.
Oh yeah.
I just never did.
Once we had a dietitian potluck in our office, and I think we brought it, and someone brought cheese in a can.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Nice chopping. That was very efficient.
Thank you. Just drop something on the floor. That's okay.
All right, so we're making a 3-bean salad so far. Dara has got some a sliced or a diced red bell pepper, a couple of stalks of celery. She's cutting
a red onion. We're just going to use half of it.
Even half? How much? I'd use a quarter.
Because it's a big
really
one.
Strong.
Yeah.
It's a big one. I don't know how much it calls for.
It calls for half, I think.
Okay, that's too much. Maybe not.
We're going to revisit that.
Where is it? No. To your taste. If red onion is too strong, you might want to try shallots.
So
I love shallots.
Yeah, or green onion too.
Yeah, that would be a good
So
compromise.
when I'm cutting the onion, I like to leave the root attached, even though I cut it in a quarter. But it helps keep all of the pieces together when you're cutting it. Right?
Yep, and then you can much more
slow down.
easily chop it finely.
Or in big chunks.
I think it's great. Okay. Especially the celery leaves. Irene loves the celery leaves. Yeah, they're so flavorful.
And we added, actually, I didn't take off the top.
Yeah,
I just chopped
exactly. If
everything
they're
and
fresh,
put it in
I
there.
always add them into whatever recipe I'm using.
Is it? I just want to make sure that this is on.
It is on. Simmering.
Yep. Yeah, very good.
Simmering away.
Okay.
Okay.
My eyes are watering. It's a fresh onion.
Okay, this sauce is done. I know I shouldn't be doing this at the same time,
But we double batched the meatballs, so I think we're allowed a little bit of leeway there.
yeah. And we're doing okay for time. We have about 15 minutes.
I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
So like we said, we're using the pre-grated carrot. You could shred a carrot. You can even just dice a carrot too, if you wanted to.
Yeah,
and add it in
exactly.
there. It doesn't have to be these grated ones, but these are very convenient for salads. I'm just gonna. I think it's like half a cup.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah, they are really convenient. And obviously this bag is $2. You can buy carrots way cheaper and
Yeah.
process them yourself. But take shortcuts where you need to take shortcuts. And never feel bad about it.
No.
Convenience foods are there to be convenient. And just because they're convenience foods, it doesn't mean that they're not healthy foods.
They're still
right?
foods, right?
Canned beans, convenient foods, super healthy. And carrots, convenient foods,
Yeah, exactly.
super healthy.
And like these meatballs, you could serve them
Yeah.
with a bottle jar of like the Thai peanut sauce. I know,
Yeah.
like my husband used to love that memories of
It's
line.
so good. So Szechuan, the pizza.
Yeah, that's the one. So you can
Yeah.
just throw those with that too, right?
Yeah.
If you're making the homemade meatballs and you don't have time to make the sauce, or you don't
Yeah.
care, you don't want to buy coconut milk, you don't normally have it on hand, so don't
Yeah.
buy it. Like,
Half homemade is amazing. It's an amazing start. Getting you started in the kitchen is what we hope to inspire you to do. It doesn't have to be from scratch all the time, and that is definitely not what we do in our
No.
homes.
I'm just remember we have to defrost edamame.
Yeah.
So let's do that right now.
Well, you don't really have to defrost it.
I guess not.
Because
But
we're
if
not
you were
eating it right now.
We're not eating it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you want to eat it right now, you could defrost it.
Yeah. If you're making it ahead, throw it in frozen. It's just going to thaw in the fridge.
I think it says boom, 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 like 1 cup.
Yeah.
So we'll measure it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
I think that's a half a cup.
Yeah, so 2 of those. Heaping 1 cup.
Great.
And then I'm just gonna drain and rinse these beans just to get that liquid off.
Do you need a strainer?
I think I put one in there already.
I used it for the pasta. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
You could use it again. We're using white kidney beans and black beans, but you could use red kidney beans. You could use chickpeas.
Would be good.
Yeah.
White beans.
You could even do lentils. Like we're using the white beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could use any beans you want.
Okay. You rinse.
Okay.
Yeah, here's another example of a convenience food. Shelled edamame that is frozen. Super helpful. Oh, these are so wee. These
I
ones.
know.
So cute.
My grocery store didn't have the ones that I normally buy.
Yeah.
I just had those ones. So
It
they're
doesn't matter.
a little bit
Oh,
small.
and someone had asked, last time we did our virtual meal prep, we did our roasted sweet potato salad. And it had edamame in it. And someone had commented saying they can't find it in their hometown. They live in a small town and they have a small grocery store. So you can leave it out. You could add peas if you wanted. You could add little cubes of tofu if you wanted. I mean, there's tons of protein already with the beans. You certainly don't need another source. Something green, you know.
Yeah.
I would just
Some
do more,
parsley, you
probably.
can add some herbs to it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna dump the beans in.
Yeah, this makes a significant portion.
We were gonna double it, and then
I was like,
Aaron's right. It's like it's
That's
already
enough to
quite
start.
large. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So once the beans and all the veggies are together, we're just going to make a salad dressing, and I think that's my cue, right?
Yep.
All right.
You have.
I don't normally measure salad dressing. However, I did obviously develop this recipe and measured it when I was developing it, so I'll just use the same thing. We're not doubling. So a 1/3 cup apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar.
I think we talked about this last time too. It is my go-to vinegar.
Yeah, it does not boost your metabolism.
Also, like, it's gonna taste pretty not good to eat a spoonful of it by itself. Like, so you don't need to.
No,
do
exactly.
that.
1/4 cup of olive oil-ish.
You could use canola oil here too. You can use-
So there's quite a bit of honey in this. 3 tablespoons. I'm going to eyeball it. 1, too.
And same thing here. You could use maple syrup here as another sweetener. If you
Yeah,
don't
you
really
could
have
use a
honey.
lot less. You could
Yeah.
use granulated sugar. That would be fine.
It is
You
a
just have
sweet
to do-
dressing.
It is a very sweet
Yeah.
dressing, just like the deli salad dressing. One of my faves. And then salt and pepper. So quarter teaspoon of salt, roughly. Little black pepper, freshly ground if you can. It's so much better. Whisk it up.
That's it.
And I'm going to taste it first because when you don't measure, that's great. You don't need to measure to cook well. Taste as you cook. Stick your finger in. Your family is going to be the one that's eating it.
And we, yeah.
Needs more salt. Yeah.
And if we wanted to, we could also double or triple this so that you have a salad dressing to use for the week.
Yeah,
On
exactly.
anything.
So the one thing you want to make sure, and I don't know if you already said this, because sometimes it's hard to pay attention while you're
I know.
doing
No,
something.
yeah.
You want to use hearty vegetables.
Because it's going to be sitting.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to use it for lunches for the week, because it does make such a big portion. Things like carrots, celery, bell pepper hold up even when they're sitting and dressing for a few days.
Definitely.
So that's why I said sometimes I'll mix it with some leafy greens like spinach or romaine lettuce. But
not
that would be
ahead
at the
of
last
time.
minute.
Yeah.
And then it's already got enough dressing on it to kind of dress the salad greens too.
Although you could add in something like kale would hold up well.
Actually,
here.
that's a
you could
great
add in
idea.
some shredded kale right
Yeah.
away, and then that green keeps well in the fridge.
And that would make this recipe go farther, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm just tossing it like this because there's no more spoons here. Look how beautiful and colorful that is.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And again, if you wanted to put a bunch of herbs in it, that's a great idea too. It would be delicious. Okay, done like dinner.
Done. So it's just the oatmeal.
Just the oatmeal
That we're waiting on.
and the meatballs are done. The sauce is done. We're going to throw the meatballs into the sauce. I suppose we could do that now.
Yeah. Well, but, like don't throw. Maybe just gently. Like put them in, because I
This is
I
dead.
really okay. No, please don't. It's hot.
All right.
Okay, not that crazy tonight. And you
Voice
like
of reason.
okay. You don't have to right now do this either. You could keep them separate if you wanted to. I actually I'm going to ask Erin to keep some separate for me to take home because I know that my daughter will like to eat it plain. Like she doesn't like when things are saucy, so she'll have the meatball, but she'll want to have it plain.
How many do you want me to leave aside for you?
Maybe just like 2 or 3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
those 3 will stay aside and the rest will go in?
Perfect.
Okay, fine.
She might like try to dip it in the sauce, but she's more likely to eat something if it's plain. So
I
that's
have no-
another one of our tips, right?
Yeah,
so just
totally.
like deconstruct dinner so that it's suitable for everybody.
Yeah.
So this is a good one. You could serve the meatballs on the side, the sauce on the side,
Yep.
and have your broccoli, everything separated out. Same thing with the bean salad.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could keep the beans separate, the vegetables separate. So you have it all mixed with the dressing,
Yeah.
and your kids or anyone could just eat all the components separate.
Yeah.
So you're all eating the same thing.
Yes.
It just might look a little bit different, but everyone's eating the same ingredients,
Yeah.
which is really important.
It is important that you offer the same ingredients, for sure. And don't get us wrong. If you're trying to do things and you're separating everything for your kids and they still won't touch a thing, that's completely normal too.
Yeah.
When kids are exposed to new things, they're unlikely to try it or to like it right away. It takes multiple exposures for kids to get used to new foods. It can take 15 to 20 exposures for kids that we would consider picky eaters. I don't even really like to say that. But just keep offering kids the same food. One of the tips that I have is if you're deconstructing something new, you have lots of options on the table for your kids. Always make sure that there is at least one thing that you know they'll eat. And if that's white sandwich bread,
So what?
fine.
Yeah.
Just relax. You let go. Once you've offered what's going to be on the table, you decide what, when, and where. You've decided what's going on the table, when it's going to be served, and where it's going to be served, which should be sitting at the table. They get to decide if and how much. And seriously, you let them decide. No pressure tactics, no negotiations.
Don't
you just
talk about
let
the
go.
food. Like, just talk about the day. Talk about something else. Take the focus off of the food, and it will be more of a relaxed environment too. And you'll actually enjoy the dinner too, because you're not going to be sitting there like stressed out of your mind. Are they going to eat it? How much did they eat? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Like the world's not going to end.
Yeah.
And when they're hungry, they will eat.
They will eat, exactly. And if it's just white sandwich bread for dinner that night,
It's okay.
chill. It's okay. There's going to be another opportunity to eat the next day. There are 3 meals, multiple snacks throughout the day. Kids are not going to go hungry if you're pretty consistent with the rules around eating.
I mean, sometimes we're not hungry. Like, they're allowed also to sometimes not be hungry. Maybe they had a big snack. Maybe they're just, in the hot weather, I don't know, they're just not feeling hungry. The same like we might not want to finish everything on our plate.
Yeah.
They might not want to finish everything on their plate.
And the last thing you want to do is try to pressure or negotiate them into eating food because it actually it helps them develop a poor relationship with food and makes them not trust themselves around food because they're not listening to their own bodies. Anyway, with that being said,
so just the oatmeal. So it should almost be done.
we're close.
We kind of
put any
flustered
timers
there.
on today.
I know, and we also dropped the ball a little on the boiling, but that's okay.
Totally fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you got a lot out of this. Not just 3 new recipes to use, but a lot of tips and tricks. I always say ticks every time. Tips and tricks.
Okay. It's like a tongue twister
It
at
is.
the end.
Around the kitchen to help you feed your families easily, make a few meals from scratch, just try cooking at home a little bit more, 1 more night a week.
And tell us how it went. What did you think? We love your feedback. If there's something you want to see us make, then let us know. If there's a recipe you love and you want to see how it comes together and how to prep it, then we'll do it for you.
Yeah, we would love that. Also, please share this video with your friends and family and on your own Facebook page. We want to keep being able to do this, and we want to grow our following, obviously, and the best way to do that is by sharing this video with other people and letting them know that you love it, so that other people can love it too, and we get more people cooking in the kitchen and more families eating healthfully. And that's it for today.
So go grab a drink, because
Exactly.
we're going to.
Yes, exactly.
Bye.
Guys.